Hello everyone, and welcome to 30 Days of Java. Day 30 now, and today we'll be discussing about inheritance in Java. Our agenda for this video would be to first understand what is inheritance and what are its types. Then we'll talk about the diamond problem and why it prevents multiple inheritance. Finally, we'll look at the behavior of different access modifier in inheritance. So let's begin. Let's first understand what is inheritance. Imagine we have a class called animal, which represents general characteristics and behavior that all animals shares, like eating, sleeping, and making sounds. Now suppose we want to create class for dogs, cats, and humans too. If we were to create separate classes for each of them without using inheritance, we would end up duplicating code for common behaviors like eating and sleeping. This violates the principle of code reusability and maintainability, making our code more cumbersome and prone to error. To avoid this, we can utilize inheritance. We create a superclass called animal, which contains common behavior and characteristics shared by all the animals, like eating and sleeping. Then we create subclasses for specific type of animals, for example, dog, cat, human, that inherits from the animal superclass. This means they automatically gain access to the behavior and characteristics defined in the animal class. Each subclass can have its own behaviors and characteristics in addition to those inherited from the superclass, like making sound, which would be different for a dog, cat, and a human. So, inheritance allows a class, that is subclass or child class, to inherit attributes and methods from another class, that is superclass or parent class. This promotes code reusability and establishes a hierarchical relationship between classes. The basic syntax of inheritance is shown below, where we use the extends keyword to inherit the members of superclass into subclass. In Java, we have three types of inheritance. Single inheritance, where a class extends only one superclass. Multiple inheritance, which involves chaining multiple classes together in a hierarchical manner. A subclass extends another subclass, which in turn extends a superclass. And hierarchical inheritance, in which multiple subclasses inherit from a single superclass. This means that a superclass has multiple subclasses branching out from it. Now there is another type of inheritance called multiple inheritance, which was intentionally restricted from Java and various other programming languages due to its problem with ambiguity. To understand why multiple inheritance was removed from Java, we'll need to understand the diamond problem, which is also known as deadly diamond of death. As per the problem statement, imagine you have a class named animal, which has method named makeNoise, which simply returns noise. Now we create two classes named dog and cat, which inherit from the animal class, and override the method makeNoise. The dog class makes it return woof, whereas the cat class makes it return meow. Now let's create another class named dat, which can be thought as a hybrid of dog and cat, and inherits from both dog and cat class. Now the main problem with this approach is that in dat class, it doesn't know which makeNoise method it needs to use, whether it should return woof or meow. This creates a problem and is the reason why Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. The problem is known as diamond problem because the visual representation looks like a diamond. Inheritance is like passing down traits in a family, but in programming, it's about passing down properties and behaviors from one class to another. Now when we talk about access modifiers in inheritance, it's like setting boundaries on who can inherit what. Let's start with public. Think of it as an open invitation to everyone. Anything marked as public can be inherited by any class. that they are close relative or distant cousins, accessible to all. Then there's protected. Protected properties and behaviors can be inherited in the same package and also in different packages using child class. Now, private is like keeping something all to yourself. If something is marked as private, it's not shared with anyone, not even with your kids. So, private properties and behaviors cannot be inherited at all. Lastly, there is the default or package private. It's like sharing within the neighborhood. Within the same package, it's as open as public, but once you step outside that package, it's like a closed door. Other packages can't inherit these properties and behaviors. Let's create a simple program to demonstrate the concept of inheritance in Java. First, we'll create a new class and we'll name it animal. Now, this class would have a property named public string name. Let's give it a value of animal. It would also have a method named public void make noise. This would print out noise. Now we'll create another class and we'll name it cat. Now this class wouldn't have any properties, but it would extend the class animal. Now if I go to my main program and I create an object for cat class, cat equal to new cat. Now I can access the properties and methods of animal class using the cat object. We'll type in cat dot make noise. Now as you can see, the make noise method is not present in cat class itself. It's present in the animal class, but it's able to access it in the cat class. Now if I run this program, it would print out noise in the console. This is the power of inheritance. It makes the code reusable in nature. Now let's look at the behavior of different access modifiers in inheritance. So for that, we'll go back to animal class and we'll create a few more properties. We'll type in private int, and for saving some time, I'll just name this prop1 and give it a value of 1. Now I'll create another property. I'll name this prop2 and the access modifier would be protected. And then finally, I'll keep it a default access modifier and name it prop3. Now, if I try to access these properties in my cat class, I'll create a new method in public void to prop, and I'll just type in this out prop1. Now you can see it showing me an error which says prop1 has private access in animal. So private member cannot be accessed outside the class. Also, it cannot be inherited as well. For protected, I can access that in my cat class. If I type in prop2, it works without any issue. And for default, that is prop3, I can also access that. I can also manipulate those properties. So if I type in prop2 equals to 2. So if I create an object for cat class and create an object for animal class, then I show the value of prop2 by typing prop2 in cat class and to animal class. Now before running this class, I'll also type in cat.toProp. This method would manipulate the value of prop2 to value 2. So if I run this program now, you can see prop2 in cat class has the value of 2, whereas the prop2 in animal class still has the value of 1. So using inheritance, you can override the values of inherited properties in the subclasses as well. Protected and default access modifiers that are defined in animal class, the inherited behavior goes something like this. The protected and default members can be inherited inside the same package. However, protected members can be inherited outside the same package by using a child class, whereas the default members cannot. As always, we'll end this video with a motivation quote that says, "When you give up, that's when the game ends." Thank you for watching and have a great day.